So you get a booking, and for a very long time, you feel like, yeah, but guest cancels the booking, and you feel like, oh, well, Airbnb has just introduced something called the extended cancellation option. Let's talk about that now and how you should feel about it. Is it more, oh, oh. Airbnb has introduced a new booking feature called the extended cancellation option, now available across a dozen markets. It's a relatively small change on the surface, but it fits a clear pattern in how Airbnb has been reshaping cancellations over the past year. And it's worth understanding how it actually works. I'm Thibault from RSU by Press Labs. In this video, I'll walk you through what the option is, how hosts and property managers get paid under it, how it compares to what Booking.com has offered for years, why Airbnb is likely doing this, and a few practical implications to keep in mind. Oh, by the way, it's not opt-in, it's opt-out. But don't worry too much. Let's start with the basics. The extended cancellation option is a paid add-on for guests at checkout. A guest can pay Airbnb an additional fee. In exchange, they can cancel for a full refund up to 24 hours before check-in, and even on listings with a stricter cancellation policy. Right, so you have a certain cancellation policy. If the guests chose to buy this option basically from Airbnb for a fee, they are able to extend and get a refund. So, of course, immediately the question for you is like, oh, do I get paid? The question is yes. Your cancellation policy does not change, and you continue to be paid according to it. When a guest with the option cancels, Airbnb refunds the guest and covers the difference between that refund and what you owed under your policy. Here's a concrete example. Suppose you're on a firm or moderate policy, and a guest who purchased the option cancels 3 days before check-in. The guest receives a full refund because he paid a fee for that option for this, right? But you still receive your policy payout. For example, the 50% your policy specifies. There's almost no impact on your cancellation rate or your superhost status. There's no impact. And the dates reopen immediately for rebooking, right? So dates that got canceled reopen immediately for rebooking. One exception is worth noting: if Airbnb's major disruptive events policy applies, for example, a natural disaster, the guest is refunded and the host receives no payout, even if the option was purchased. That's a standard override that sits above all cancellation policies. Now, let's talk about some terms. Well, the option is currently available in 12 markets, available or tested in 12 markets: Argentina, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Ireland, the Netherlands, the Philippines, Poland, Sweden, Turkey, the United States, and Vietnam. Most listings on moderate, limited, firm, or strict policies are automatically eligible. It isn't offered on flexible policies since they already allow easy cancellation. And again, it's an opt-out. The treatment of the fee is the one area where the rules differ by country. In the US, the fee is non-refundable. In other 11 markets, the guest is refunded the fee if they cancel. That distinction is a useful signal. I'll come back to it. Also worth knowing that most eligible listings are enrolled by default. Hosts can opt out at any time in their listing settings, but it does require an active choice. To put this into context, it helps to look at Booking.com, which has offered a comparable program for years, first known as risk-free reservation and now known as Smart Flex. The mechanics are a bit different. On Booking.com, this added flexibility, right, is free to the guest. Booking.com tries to resell the canceled dates, and if it cannot, it compensates the hosts. In other words, the platform carries the cost in order to win the booking. But where they're smart, basically Booking.com does not offer this to everyone, as far as I know. What they do, they will offer this option only for guests and booking types that they think will not get canceled. That's very interesting, right? It's like I'm offering something to people I know will not be using the option in a way. On Airbnb, the guest pays for the flexibility directly, and in the US, the fee is retained by Airbnb. So while the goal is similar, more booking confidence for guests, Airbnb has structured it as a paid product rather than a platform funded one. Non refundable US fees consistent with that interpretation. This connects to a broader shift we've been tracking. Over the past year, Airbnb retired its strict policy in favor of firm. Airbnb added a 24-hour grace period to most bookings and launched Reserve Now, Pay Later. The extended cancellation option is the next step into the same direction. The underlying logic is straightforward and well established in online travel. Lower the perceived risk of booking and conversion goes up. Easier cancellation tends to mean more reservations overall for the platform, which matters as Airbnb competes more directly with hotels and with Booking.com. The trade-off, well, the trade-off is essentially predictability for hosts in exchange for confidence for guests. Airbnb's stated priority is growth in bookings, and a modest increase in cancellations is an acceptable cost within that strategy. For hosts, so payout is predicted, and as we covered. The more meaningful effects, though, is operational rather than financial. Let's keep in mind. First, well, cancellations overall are likely to become somewhat more frequent, as we've seen Reserve Now, Pay Later, right? And so cancellations will also kind of occur, of course, later in the booking window, since the option removes the penalty of previously discouraged late changes. Second, downstream costs don't move in step with your Airbnb payout. If your cleaners, service providers have their own cancellation window, says 5 days, let guest cancellation can leave you responsible for these costs. The option protects your booking revenue, but not your vendor obligation. Third, for property managers, this introduces payouts that aren't tied to completed stay. It's worth making sure that they characterize correctly in owner statements and located properly. So, a few things you want to do, of course, review whether your listings are enrolled, particularly for high value peak season dates. Consider aligning vendor cancellation terms more closely with your guest cancellation window. Use dynamic pricing to rebook cancelled dates quickly, since the operational impact depends largely on how fast you can refill the calendar, right? What I meant to say is that in case Airbnb opens the dates that got cancelled, you want to make sure that your prices are set right. Dynamic pricing usually will have your back here, right? Because you will immediately identify that there's now a gap in your calendar and will price accordingly. It's really important last minute. So to summarize, the extended cancellation option is a guest-paid flexibility feature that leaves host payouts intact while shifting some operational uncertainty onto hosts. The logic continuation of Airbnb's broader move toward guest flexibility and mirrors Booking.com's approach, with one notable difference here: Airbnb charges for it. I've written a full analysis, including policy tables and Booking.com comparison on RSU by Bryce Labs. If you like more brain like this on Airbnb, Booking.com changes, consider subscribing or leaving a comment below. Thanks for watching.